Night snaps in half. One hollow bell note splinters the dark, then dies. Wind freezes mid-whisper. Mercy Gate Orphanage looms ahead, windows blind, doors unblinking. 78 children vanished here, and rumor says the walls still recite their names when moonlight fails. A single child's shoe rests on the threshold, laces twitching like severed nerves. Inside, floorboards creak in a heartbeat rhythm, though no pulse remains to claim it. Dust rises, shapes a question mark, then collapses as if startled by footsteps yet to fall. Silence swells, hungry, waiting for a new name to swallow. Which fearless soul dares cross that doorway tonight, you or the echo? Subscribe now before the bell strikes again. Rain crawls down cracked carriage windows, tracing blurred constellations of candlelight reflected from the orphanage facade. Inside the coach, 78 children clutch valises lighter than their fears, wool sleeves chewed to threads, eyes too wide for midnight. No lullaby softens the wheel's groan. No mother's hand steadies the shiver that moves seat to seat like a cold insect. Hooves stumble on slick cobbles. The courtyard yawns open, a square of gravel drowned in moon-soaked puddles. Iron gates swing inward as though pulled by invisible arms eager to collect debt. When the carriage rolls past, the hinges shriek once, then bite shut, chains rattling a short applause. Silence drops heavier than the rain. Coach lamps sputter, struggling against drafts that smell of wet limestone and overboiled laundry. As the door unlatches, breath clouds rise from thin throats, pairing with steam off the swaying horse team. Ghosts meeting ghosts. First onto the mud steps, Emilia, smallest at 8 summers, her shoes 2 sizes large from generosity, not warmth. She pauses, sensing the courtyard watch her heartbeat. Behind her, the other children file out, older boys first, forced bow. Rave by expectation, then girls in patched skirts that slap cold ankles. 78 shadows stretch across gravel, merge, then scatter as lightning sketches the building silhouette. Mercy Gate Orphanage towers 4 stories, brick blackened by decades of coal smoke and unanswered prayers. Gargoyles perch along the roofline, mouths agape, not roaring, only listening. Windows slit thin, offer no candlelight. Curtains hang like eyelids stitched closed. The coachman snaps his whip, already eager to leave this charitable graveyard. He shouts for staff. At first, nothing stirs. Then the main door unseals with a sigh, revealing a lone nun framed in lantern gloom. She glides forward, habit whispering over stone, as if feet never touch earth. Her veil drapes low, shadowing everything but a soft jawline and a curve of lips curled into welcome too serene for midnight. Hands clasp at her waist, holding a rosary whose beads glimmer wet. She counts the children without numbers, eyes sweeping rows like a census taker for the lost. Each orphan feels the chill ride from her gaze, though she speaks sweet. Little ones, the storm won't follow you here. Come. Her voice softens the vowels until they almost melt, yet each syllable drinks courage from the listeners. Thunder answers, close. Coachman tosses luggage to stable hands who never appear. Still, trunk lids bang open, then shut, handled by nobody visible. The horses rear against reins, whites of their eyes wide as chapel wafers. The nun turns, gestures toward the corridor yawning just beyond the threshold. Candles ignite one by one down its length, lighting a corridor like vertebrae of a giant beast. Wall damp prints a smell half mold, half sea salt, unnatural this far inland. Children step inside, boots echo first, then hush as hallway carpet swallows sound. Once the last foot crosses, candles behind them extinguish, seal in. G path forward only. Amelia looks back. Moonlight dies at the doorway, cupped by darkness like water held in palms. Along plaster walls hang portraits of children, long grown or long gone, faces scrubbed clean by time, so only eye hollows remain. Nameplates dangle, letters worn to scratches. A draft lifts each plate in turn, tapping Morse against wood paneling. Dash dash, pause, dash. No one knows the code yet. Every heart deciphers, don't run. They reach a foyer where staircase arms spiral upward and downward, identical twins of escape and descent. The nun selects the upward path, saying, "Warm beds, wait." Thunder rumbles again. Somewhere inside, another bell answers, dull, ropeless, ringing from bones, not bronze. Step by step, the children climb. Boards beneath creak out of rhythm, as though the staircase counts more footsteps than present. Dust motes dance in lantern glow, forming brief figures, child-sized, hand in hand, before collapsing to ordinary grime. Second floor corridor, doors line both sides, each bearing chalk tally marks. 78 total, 6 clusters of 13. Chalk looks fresh, though rain never enters. The nun raises a finger. Doors unlatch simultaneously, hinges turning without push. Beds inside overlap wall to wall, sheets drawn crisp, pillows dented, as if recent heads fled seconds ago. Children file into assigned rooms. Blankets scratch, but feel safe compared to the storm still growling outside stone walls. A coal stove in each dorm belches heat that smells faintly of lavender, and something metallic. Little ones drift to restless sleep, believing morning will bring porridge and new hope. In hallway dusk, the nun lingers. Thunder dims. She lowers veil briefly, revealing eyes closed, stitched shut with silver thread, yet her smile widens. Proof sight isn't needed here. She whispers toward attic rafters, voice now brittle. 78 candles lit. None shall gutter this time. From the building's depths, a pulse answers. 3 slow knocks, like a hearten, willing, but compelled. Veil drops, stitches disappear. She glides downstairs, rosary tapping crescent beats across habit cloth. Behind her, bedroom doors lock themselves, keys twist a half-turn more than needed, sealing childhood away. Outside, the coach clatters back through iron gates. The coachman never glances in his mirror, never sees gates swing shut without hand, never wonders why hooves hit ground lighter than air. He only notes the church bell toll, once, far too close for comfort, though Mercy Gate owns no tower. Storm passes. Moon re-emerges, casting silver over courtyard. Where the children crossed minutes ago, no footprints dent the puddles. Gravel lies smooth, as if 78 souls never trod. Inside, halls darken, portrait plates stop tapping. Bedsheets tighten like shrouds, shifting around small frames still breathing but already claimed. One final candle flares in chapel window, then snuffs, leaving only the black-jawed grin of Mercy Gate Orphanage, watching the sky swallow dawn. What secret waits behind these walls, and which name will the bell toll next when rope is nothing but air? Share your warning below, and subscribe while you still hear your own heartbeat. Doors breathe in this place. They inhale every footstep, exhale a nervous draft that prowls the corridor like a mutt denied a room. Lamplight hugs the walls, too frightened to reach the center of the hall, leaving a narrow ribbon of dusk for the children to follow between supper and sleep. Tonight, Sister Verity leads the first group to their dormitory. She jingles a ring of iron keys, none labeled, all identical, each longer than a child's hand. The lock at Dormitory 7 yawns for the promised key, yet when she tries one, then two, metal grinds but never grants passage. She smiles, thin, bothered, slides the ring away, taps the latch with her rosary. The bolt shoots home, door creak. Is open wood swollen by secrets rather than rain. Inside, cots line the walls shoulder to shoulder, each mattress dented as if by a body that refused to leave. A single barred window peers at the courtyard, its panes cross-hatched with planks nailed down so tight even moonlight files an appeal. Children shuffle to assigned beds, blankets scratchy as straw. Sister Verity watches from the threshold, veil hiding her eyes, hands folded like paper knives. Emilia sits on her cot, end of the row nearest the window. She fingers the splintered sill, finding initials carved deep, MB, J83. A breeze sneaks through cracks, carrying a word so faint she doubts it. Run. She glances at the planks, wonders if wood can speak. Lights out. Floorboards sigh under departing habit steps. The lock slides with finality, a sound hammered from centuries of closed hearts. In darkness, breath synchronizes, rustling blankets join as chorus, then settle. Minutes drip. Somewhere down the corridor a key turns, soft click, harder shove, metal rasp like bone dragged across stone. Footfalls follow, too heavy to belong to Sister Verity's measured grace. They pause outside Dormitory 7. Children hold breath, lace fear into fists beneath thin blankets. Silence. Something sniffs at the doorframe, long, deliberate, as if memorizing the scent of every heartbeat. A whimper breaks from the youngest boy, Silas, 9, quickly muffled by pillow. The sniffing stops. A child's voice outside the door whispers, "Hide." It's neither plea nor command, more scavenged thought tossed through keyhole. Then the heavy steps retreat, dragging. Rope? No. Chain. Sleep comes poorly. Emilia drifts under its thin net, catches flashes. Sister Verity's keys melting into worms, planks unzipping to reveal eyes set in bark, beds marching out the window like soldiers over a cliff. She jolts awake at a distant cry. The sound ricochets along corridors, a single sharp syllable though. It might be no, or might be nothing human. It rebounds twice, 3 times, then dies mid-echo, throttled by the walls. Cots tremble as children sit upright, faces washed in moon-bright fear. No adult footstep rushes to answer, only water drips somewhere between floors, counting seconds until courage returns. Emilia slides from mattress, feet bare on splintered boards. She tiptoes to the door, ear pressed against grain. Cavernous hush beyond, like a throat swallowing words. She reaches for knob, it refuses to budge. She tries again, no rattle, no give, as though the handle is painted on reality. She backs away, stumbles into a cot. Its occupant, Anya, 12, grabs Emilia's wrist. "Don't," she breathes, voice the weight of centuries. She points upward. Above the barred window, starless dark churns where ceiling should be. From it descend whispers, names recited in twinned breaths, each syllable clipping the next, forming a chain strong enough to hang hope. Silas's name surfaces, floats, vanishes. He clutches blanket to chin, eyes shining wet moon. The plank-boarded window creaks. Nails wriggle like silver worms, backing out one by one, clinking onto sill. Wood planks bulge inward, grain splintering in slow stretch. Beyond the glass waits the courtyard, empty, still, but chimed with the certainty something watches. A narrow triangle of open night appears. Fingers curled like claws push between planks, small fingers, dirt under nails, skin parchment pale. They tap glass, polite as knuckles at church. Emilia's knees weaken. Anya throws her blanket over both of them as if cloth can blind fate. Tap, tap, tap. Silence. The fingers withdraw. Planks snap back flush. Nails slither into holes. Heads flush and unmoving. Wind sighs relief or regret, hard to tell. Children stare until pupils ache, then crawl under blankets they now trust more than locks. Hours slip. Dawn's first. Grey thread fails to pierce the boarded glass. Lantern light returns when Sister Verity unlocks the door. This time keys work on first try. She surveys the room as if counting sheep. "Breakfast," she murmurs, voice syrupy, but her eyes are wrong, dry wells where concern once might have lived. As children file past, Emilia looks for planks shifted, nails loose. All perfect, factory neat. She glances at Anya. The older girl's gaze says she saw it too. Silas shuffles, chin down, clutching new scratch lines gouged into blanket. 3 tallies, 1 slash. In corridor light, Emilia notices something else. Each dorm door bears fresh chalk around the keyhole, tight circle, crescent under, line through. The symbol smears to violet dust when fingertips pass, yet reappears before eyes can blink. Breakfast hall smells of oats laced with iodine. At each place setting, bowls brimming, steam swirling into shapes, a shoe, a bell, a locked door. Children eat because hunger refuses pride. Steam images fade, replaced by question marks that drip back into porridge. Outside windows, morning fog coils. Gates stay shut. No laughter, no lessons. Just the slow mechanical heartbeat of Mercy Gate gearing up for night 2. How long before the door locks forever, and what whispers will slip through boards when the children can no longer scream? Will you keep the keyholes watching, or turn away before midnight counts you next? Share your warning below, and subscribe before the corridor decides which door is yours. Moonlight barely survives the iron bars caging Mercy Gate's courtyard, but the garden glows as if kissed by some hidden sun. Strawberry plants, lush, obscene, spill over wooden troughs, leaves slick with dew, sweeter than confession wine. Their berries blush a furious red, plump hearts beating atop black soil no one remembers tilling. Sister Agnes kneels at dawn each day, habit dark against frost, pruning runners with scissors that glint violet in half-light. She murmurs to every plant, names of saints, snippets of lullaby, fragments of Latin twisted backward. Her breath fog curls around the fruit, and the berries tremble in answer, as though recognizing a mother's tone. Children watch from dormitory windows, stomachs gnawing after meager oats. They envy those strawberries, their color, their promise, yet Sister Agnes insists the harvest belongs to special prayers. "Patience," she says, smile brittle as sugar glass. "Good things ripen in silence." On the first morning after the coach arrived, Emilia counts 78 berries, each one shining like a sealed fate. By breakfast, 1 berry is gone, stem snapped clean, indent soft as pillow after a dream. At roll call, Silas is missing, his blanket folded neat, scratch lines on fabric still damp from night sweat. Staff blame cold feet, say he must have wandered. Searchers comb yard, roofs, wells, nothing. But the garden soil where the berry vanished keeps a hollow, perfectly round, darkened by something thicker than dew. Second morning, 77 berries remain. Another will vanish, Emilia predicts. Another child too, this time Anya, whose gasp she hears past midnight, whose mattress springs never creak again. Indeed, sunrise reveals berry gone, bed made, nobody caring. A draught in the corridor carries scent of crushed strawberry mixed with salt tears. Children whisper theories under blankets. Wolves, spirits, Sister Verity's jangling keys. Someone suggests the berries eat the children. Someone else swears the children become berries. No one laughs. On night 3, Emilia cannot sleep. She creeps from cot, presses ear to dorm door, locked, indifferent. Windows remain nailed, but moonlight slips through slits between planks. In that line of silver she sees dust motes swirl, then form a tiny figure, child-shaped, arms reaching toward courtyard. Wind, faint yet purposeful, floats through cracks carrying a smell, sweet, metallic. Emilia tiptoes back, tugs blanket overhead, prays to saints who never lived. Dreams answer instead. She stands under stars, courtyard empty. Sister Agnes hovers over the troughs, scissors snipping nothing, mouth moving though no words emerge. One by one, berries lift from stems, floating to orbit her head like bleeding moons. Each berry births a whisper. Silas, Anya, voices shrunk to seeds, begging for warmth. Agnes plucks a berry from its dance, bites slow. Juice streaks her chin crimson. With the stain comes a sigh. Relief. Ecstasy. Emilia wakes before judgment. Fourth dawn. Emilia huddles by window, watching Sister Agnes work. She counts berries. 75. A chill deeper than frost drives nails into her chest. Another name will fade before lunch. She resolves to guard the plants. At recreation, she loses her ball near the garden, kneels as if tying shoelace, fingers grazing soil. It's warm, pulsing, not like earth breathing, but like flesh refusing burial. A berry's skin twitches beneath her touch. She yanks hand back, sees juice bead, dark, sticky, smelling faintly of violets. Afternoon lesson in chapel. Sister Verity recites multiplication tables. Children mutter answers, eyes drifting to rafters where dust shifts strangely, as if counting children instead. Emilia's calculation, at this rate, none will see next full moon. That night, storm clouds push moon aside, but courtyard still glows around the plants. Lightning flashes show Sister Agnes leaving refectory, apron pockets sagging heavy. Keys ring behind her like distant bells. Emilia waits, counts to 30, slips after. Rain begins, sharp needles, yet garden remains dry, each droplet veering away, sizzling into mist before touching leaves. Agnes kneels, produces something from pocket, paper, folded, damp. She buries it shallow, covers with soil, pats twice. Berry stalk nearest pulses, swells. A red bulb emerges fully grown in seconds. Emilia gasps. Thunder masks it. She crawls closer, sees the buried pay. Per rise with soil, brief, enough for 2 letters to gleam. S. Silas's initials sewn into his blanket. Agnes stands, face upturned, rain carving rivulets through her veil, eyes closed in bliss. Emilia retreats, heart a broken gear rattling in ribs. She bumps trough, leaves rustle. Agnes's head snaps towards sound, stitched grin splitting wider. Curiosity costs, she whispers, words floating like steam. Emilia runs, rain pursuing now, soaking habit she never wanted. Corridor door slams behind her, though no hand touches it. She dives under blankets, whispering truth to sleepers who pretend not to hear. Fifth dawn breaks, slate grey. Sister Verity unlocks dorm. Emilia counts heads, 2 fewer. Sister rolls call, announces numbers match ledger. Ledger entries blur new ink with old. A fresh name scratched off, a final line drawn. In courtyard, troughs flaunt 73 berries, bright, swollen, glistening after rain that never reached them. One berry near end bears unusual fleck, a dark thread of cloth embedded like vein. Silas's blanket scrap. Breakfast tastes of nothing. Children swallow to fill hollow beating inside. Emilia remembers Sister Agnes's soft prayer, good things ripen in silence. She wonders if screams are fertilizer. Recess. Children avoid garden, yet wind still carries strawberry perfume, hooking hunger to fear. Emilia pockets stone, resolves to smash berry, break cycle. As she nears trough, leaves part on their own, revealing that berry, ripe, throbbing. She raises stone, a hand cold as rain clamps her wrist. Sister Agnes behind her, voice a lullaby. Seeds sprout best when buried deep. Agnes's other hand brandishes scissors, tip crimson, drop sliding off too thick to be rainwater. Emilia's courage puckers but holds. She drops stone, grabs berry, squeezes. Skin ruptures, spraying juice across trough. Within pulp glints something white, milk tooth. Oh, Child's. Berry halves slump, leaking whispers blown away by wind. Agnes sighs, half sorrow, half pleasure. Now it will take two to replace one. Her grip loosens. Emilia flees, heart drumming code no adult will decode. That night, thunder absent, rain absent. Two berries vanish, two beds empty. Dorm key refuses again until Rosary taps latch. Morning 6. 71 berries. Sister Agnes hums, scissors flashing. Soil steams slow, smelling of sweet violets and salt sorrow. How many berries before no child remains, and whose initials will sprout next among the leaves? Tell me which stone you'd throw, and subscribe before the garden chooses its next harvest. Dust quakes from the rafters as Emilia pushes open Sister Marian's office door, a slab of oak swollen by secrets, groaning like a throat clearing before confession. Lamplight flickers low, painting the cramped room in quivering amber and shadow. Shelves sag with hymnals blackened by mildew, but one object commands the center desk, a ledger thick as a family Bible, bound in cracked burgundy leather that sweats dark oil where fingers once caressed scripture. Emilia's candle coughs in her grip. She shuts the door with the gentlest click, knowing the corridor outside listens. Dust motes orbit the flame, masquerading as fireflies caught between prayers. The ledger waits, spine pulsing with the faint, damp beat of something alive, something counting. She slides closer. Leather smells of iron, blood left too long in a chalice. A wax seal dangles from frayed ribbon, crescent pierced by a single line. She breaks it with a fingertip. Wax shatters like brittle bone. The cover lifts, releasing a sigh colder than December pews. First page, spidery title, Mercy Gate Home for Foundlings, roster departures. Ink is midnight black, but margins bloom with rusty blotches that seep towards center as if thirsty for names. Emilia traces a stain. It's tacky, refusing to dry, sticky like regret. Names march in precise columns. 1. Silas Arkwright. Completed. 2. Anya Dell. Comp. Leeted. 3. Mikhail Barrow. Completed. The list continues. 78 lines in all. Each child Emilia knows or knew or fears she will never know again. After every name sits a vacant stretch of dots, then the single word, completed, written in red, that gleams as fresh as torn berry skin. No dates, no illness noted, no reason, just completed. Below number 78, Emilia Verdon, the dotted line is untouched, the terminus blank. Yet a crimson droplet waits at the margin beside her name, trembling as though weighing the ink's next move. A chill furrows her spine. She flips backward. Earlier leaves reveal earlier generations. Lists of 78, 78 again, each era ending with completed bleeding through centuries. Paper thins where blood saturates, so thin candlelight shines through, illuminating phantom signatures on the opposite side. Roster after roster, children consumed like pages in a long sermon, no one survives to applaud. Candle sputters, room breathes. The ledger's bottom edge darkens, soaking fresh stain that creeps upward letter by letter. Searching. A shuffle at the threshold. Habit cloth brushing wood. Sister Marian glides in, veil trailing, eyes hidden behind oval spectacles fogged by damp. Emilia freezes. Ledger lies open, truth exposed like a throat. But Marian doesn't chastise. She smiles, the kind of smile that presses flowers flat so their colors bleed. Curiosity is a righteous hunger, Marian murmurs, voice sable smooth. She lifts the candle from Emilia's hand, sets it beside inkpot clogged with something thicker than ink. And hunger always finds supper. She flips to Emilia's line, taps the blank space. See? Your journey isn't finished. A finger strokes the waiting droplet, collects red sheen, brings it to her tongue. She smacks lips, eyes closing in worship. Emilia backs away, bumping chair leg. Ledger pages flutter though no breeze stirs. Lists rustle like dry leaves remembering spring. The margins' stains converge, strands weaving a lattice that skitters towards center, stitching across names already completed, binding them tighter. Marian fishes a quill fashioned from raven feather, nib glinting silver. From desk drawer she withdraws a vial, glass frosted, contents swirling violet. Candle shows flecks suspended like charred confetti. She uncorks. Scent of strawberries burst too long in the sun floods the room, undercut by rot. Each child gifts a drop. She tilts vial. A single bead escapes, plops onto blank terminus after Amelia Verdon. Ink spreads instantly, letter shapes crawling out of nothing. C-O-M. Amelia lunges, slamming ledger shut. The quill snaps mid-stroke. Droplet splashes onto Marian's sleeve, hissing against wool. Ledger pulses beneath Amelia's palms, fighting to breathe. Marian's smile ruptures into anger. She grasps Amelia's wrist, grip like ice clamps bone. Unripened fruit spoils the bowl, she hisses. Her other hand digs for keys. Their clang echoes dungeon promise. Amelia wrenches free, darts to window slit. Nails hold plank prison, but she spots screwdriver on shelf, left by maintenance or providence. She pries, wood screaming. Marian's footsteps charge, first plank pops, second trembles. Outside, moonlight yokes courtyard straw. Below, strawberry troughs glimmer evil red, berries counting children lost. Marian seizes Amelia's hair, pain cracks stars behind her eyes, ledger hits floor, splaying, pages flap like startled doves, ink spurts writing itself, O-M-P-L. Amelia flings elbow, connects jawbone, Marian reels, spectacles flying, veil slipping, eyes stitched shut with silver thread, lids weeping dark serum. She shrieks soundless, the room itself winces, lamp glass fracturing. Amelia rips fin, all plank, squeezes through gap, drops onto ledge outside. 10 feet below, soil throbs, she leaps. Impact shocks ankles, berry scent assaults nostrils. She runs, heart drumming erratic psalms, heading for gate she knows will not open. Inside office, ledger closes by itself, lock snaps over cover, quill reassembles, inkpot reseals. On the desk, candle dies, but ember glows deep in wick, pulsing 3 beats, pause, 3 beats, pause, as if signaling name soon to be stamped, completed. Marian's stitched eyes open from within, threads parting like lips, revealing iris of solid violet. She lifts ledger, strokes spine. Unwritten lines will bleed eventually, she whispers to dark. Ink answer flickers under leather. In dormitory hallway, children wake to chorus of shuffling steps. Locks click by unseen key, doors swing. The ledger has sent orders, 3 beds must empty before sunrise. Amelia pounds gates. Iron hums refusal. She stares at mountainside. Forest dense, slopes slick. But freedom tastes warm compared to ledger's metallic chill. Behind her, Mercy Gate windows ignite one by one, glowing strawberry red. She slips into shadows, fleeing toward woods, while office bell, ropeless, still, rings single dull note. Ledger page dries, ink finalizes, Amelia Verdon, deferred. Space below yawns, hungry, eager to be filled. How would you erase ink written in blood, and whose story must end before the ledger closes forever? Leave your answer below and subscribe before Sister Marian finds a fresher quill. Sunlight slips through stained glass arches, scattering red and gold across pews worn smooth by forgotten knees. The chapel smells of beeswax, damp stone, and anxious breath. 71 orphans file in, smallest first, hands clasped, faces scrubbed raw. Sister Verity positions them at the rail, her veil fluttering like a raven's wing caught in draught. Organ pipes sigh, awake. Dust drifts like prayer ash. Brother Laurent settles at keys, cracking knuckles that haven't touched Mercy in years. Would you pull that unseen rope to shatter the cycle, or clamp silent like the rest and let the bell choose your note? Type ring. If you'd break the hymn and subscribe before next Sunday, subtracts another voice. Night lays its hand across Mercy Gate, smothering every lamp but one, a trembling wick that refuses mercy. Corridor stone drinks the light, drinks the warmth, then spits out a shadow far too tall for any child still roaming these halls. The orphans have learned the rules. Shuffle quickly, speak softly, never look past your candle's edge. Yet shadows break rules. They slither along wainscoting in shapes that forget human joints. Shoulders brush ceiling beams, fingers drag across opposite wall. When a child scurries by, the darkness folds behind them like a closing claw, tracing hair with an icy breeze that smells of damp page and wilted violets. Sister Agnes explains it away. Drafts, my lambs. She smiles, showing pink tongue stained red from tasting strawberries before dawn. Her keys jangle like bells stitched with secrets, echoing long after she turns the corner. But at lights out, iron locks groan shut, and drafts learn to walk upright. Timothy Marsh, 13, thin as a prayer left fasting, decides truth beats fear. He tears a page from arithmetic, dull pencil scratching jagged confession. We see them. He slips the note beneath Sister Agnes's door, knuckle brushing habit cloth where it puddles outside her room. The shadow there lifts, almost curious, before melting into the gap beneath threshold. Timothy hurries back, heart knocking Morse against ribs. Dormitory gloom greets him with 70 faces pretending sleep, eyelids fluttering, fists clutching blankets that fail to muffle half-heard moans down the hall. He crawls under covers, mouth forming silent tally. Berries gone, children gone, shadows fattened. A lull of uneasy rest settles, punctuated by demoiselle, stant metal tapping like a spoon against an empty bowl. At midnight, corridor door unlatches on its own. Hinges squeal a reprimand. A draft enters, no, walks, fleetingly resolved into outline, elongated torso, limbs folding wrong, head cocked as if listening for Timothy's pulse. Pale motes swirl in its wake, winking out like embers drowned in snow. Every bed creaks as children turn away, burying faces in straw pillows soaked with cold sweat. But Timothy rises, compelled beyond reason, feet drawn to follow the retreating shadow. Door drifts wide, corridor yawns. Down the length, candles extinguish one by one, each hiss sounding suspiciously like a name. He passes Sister Marian's office, ledger within rustles, pages turning without hand, ink whispering updates. Timothy glimpses his own name glowing red across parchment, but completed hasn't yet bled beside it. Hope flickers, then collapses when scrawled letters pulse violet, hungry. Shadow ahead slows at T-junction, merges with larger dark pool beneath bell rope that does not exist. A door Timothy has never seen swings open, stone where wall used to be. Cold breath from depths beyond smells of iron and soil. The shadow bows, inviting. He steps across threshold. The door seals, silent. Corridor candles relight innocent, as if no soul passed. Morning. Roll call lists 70 children. Sister Verity counts 71 bowls, but spoon in Timothy's place is ice cold. Ask after him and staff mutter, he's resting. Ledger quill dips into crimson, inks curve, dries. Timothy Marsh. Completed. Yet under Sister Agnes's door, the note remains, now crusted red at edges. A new shadow guards it, taller still, its head brushing ceiling arch, edges licking keyhole light. From within the room comes sound of scissors snipping air, shaping nothing, humming tune of half-remembered lullaby. By dusk, whispers spread. Another child saw she, adows sliding under doors like spilled ink. They plan to tell Sister Agnes, then remember the note, the absence, the silence that swallowed courage whole. Windows remain boarded, stars hide behind storm, refusing witness. In corridor candlelight, shadows breed quicker now, mothering smaller forms that scuttle beside them, practice shapes for the night they won't need children at all. Each lock rattles like a heartbeat, each door swells with breath it did not borrow. The hallway feels shorter, as if the building folds inward, preparing to swallow its spine. Still, some spark of defiance gnaws the dark. Emilia pockets a stub of chalk, scribbles crescent and line on floorboard seam, warding sign from a roomer older than stone. Shadow pauses at mark, flickers, recoils. A moment's victory, but chalk breaks, powder scatters, mark fades beneath creeping damp. Whispers return, heavier. We see them, but they see you first, and seeing is claiming. Would you dare leave a note no nun can ignore, or hold your silence while the shadows learn your shape? Share your fate in the comments, and subscribe before the candles count you out. Floorboards in Mercy Gate groan like old confidants, always hinting at secrets, never telling where they're kept. Near the refectory hearth, one warped plank hums louder than the rest. Emilia kneels, ear pressed to grain, hearing breath rise from below. Shallow, rhythmic, not quite human. She prizes splinters with a dinner knife. Dust exhales, revealing a trapdoor sealed by 6 iron latches, arranged in a crescent pierced by a straight line. Keys never linger in children's pockets, yet tonight a single key lies on the plank, as if dropped by remorse itself. Metal tastes of strawberries and rust. Emilia turns the locks. Click, click, 6 heartbeats against stone silence. The hatch yawns open, belching air so cold it burns the lungs. A ladder descends into black, stitched with violet glimmers. She climbs. Lantern weakly claws the dark, exposing a chamber the size of the chapel above. Stone walls drip, brine flows, or glistens with frost despite furnace heat overhead. Lined in perfect rows sit 78 wooden crates, each no bigger than a cradle, each stained the color of congealed dusk. Names are carved on every lid: Silas Arkwright, Anya Dell, Timothy Marsh. Every child the roster marked, completed. Final crate bears Emilia's own name, lid unscratched by tools, yet letters bleed fresh, sap thick, as if carved from inside. She lifts another lid, empty, but straw within is matted, indented, still warm. A faint lullaby hums from the wood, voices miniaturized, looping last syllables like insects trapped in jars. She backs away. The crates rattle in sequence, lids lifting a finger's breadth, closing, lifting, like chests inhaling. Air fills with scent of crushed violets and salt tears. From the far wall, a gear grinds. Chain hoists something immense behind stone, a hidden engine preparing another harvest. Trapdoor above slams. Keys spin back into locks. Footfalls, habit heavy, stomp overhead. Sister Marian's voice drifts through floorboards, tender, triumphant. Foundation secure, ledger satisfied. Crates settle, heartbeat fading. Lantern sputters, shadows pool thicker. Emilia runs ladder rungs 2 at a time, fists pounding hatch. No budge. Below, lids begin tapping again, faster now, pleading, accusing. She understands. The crates are coffins waiting to be filled, but souls already imprisoned still beg release. Her candle dwindles to ember. Darkness creeps up ladder like rising tide, whispering her name from every crate. The wood answers with one collective sigh, hungry, expectant. Above, Marian hums the choir's final hymn, each note a nail driven. If the foundation of Mercy Gate is children measured in boxes, how many more songs before the last lid closes for good? Tell me where you'd hide the key, and subscribe before the next crate learns your name. Dust curls in lazy ribbo as the playroom door creaks wider than it has in years. Moonlight drips through a shattered skylight, spilling silver across rocking horses, locked mid-gallop and puzzles missing every hopeful piece. At the center of the room sits a porcelain doll, face split clean from brow to chin. One half smiles, glassy and perfect. The other half lies nearby, mouth frozen in mid-scream, lashes caked with cobweb dew. Tiny china shards glint like baby teeth scattered after a nightmare feast. Beside the broken grin, a single crate gapes open, lid askew, straw bedding tossed in frantic patterns. Carved letters on the wood whisper the name Mabel Wren, grooves darkened by something wetter than ink. Inside lies only a faint imprint of a child's weight, as if warmth fled moments ago. Amelia's candle quivers in her grip. Faint rust-red streaks trail from crate to toy shelf, ending at the wall. There, a handprint, small, perfect, pressed in blood still tacky enough to glisten. 5 tiny fingers splay like petals wilting against plaster, thumb smudged as though the owner reached again and again for help that never came. The air carries a hush too deliberate to be silence. Rocking chair in the corner nudges back and forth, though no draft moves. Its creak times with Amelia's pulse. 1 beat. Pause. 1 beat. Stuffed bears line the window bench, buttons missing for eyes. Their frayed mouths seem to curl in sympathy or hunger as candlelight dances. A single jack-in-the-box sits wound, handle ticking without touch, melody dragging at half speed until the spring sighs and quits. Floorboards protest underfoot, each step feels trespass. Toy soldiers, painted brave once, now slump melted, rifles drooping like wilted stems. In their ranks, crimson droplets dot helmets, a mock parade of wounds. Amelia kneels by the handprint, palm hovering over dried warmth. A faint hum rises, lullaby notes, distant, broken, whistled from nowhere. She hears the words, S. Isla's used to hum, the chorus Anya never finished, the verse Timothy forgot. Names echo through cracked doll lips, flutter under crate lid, hide in rocking chair shadows. The broken doll's remaining eye follows her, hinge inside skull ticking. It blinks once, porcelain shard scraping socket, then rolls free, clattering across floorboards toward the trapdoor hallway. Somewhere below, machinery stirs, chains tightening as if feeling new weight approach. Amelia backs away, skirts rustling dolls to life, but door slams itself shut. Key turns from the outside. Click. Toy blocks stack by unseen hands, spelling stay. The crate lid settles with a satisfied thud. Rocking chair stops. Lullaby fades. Candle sputters to final ember before drowning in its own wax. Moonlight retracts, leaving the room darker than closed eyes. Only the red handprint glows faint, pulsing like a heart too small to surrender. How many more crates will crack open before Mercygate admits every doll was just a child waiting to break? Share your theory below and subscribe, or the next handprint might be yours. Silence bruises the night until clocks bleed to 3:32 a.m. Inside Mercygate, candles drown in their own wax, embers clinging to life like children to vanished lullabies. Every bed now empty but one, Amelia's, where she sits rigid, counting heartbeats that refuse to match the ledger's pulse. 33. A bell tolls, bronze hollow, ropeless, struck by breath not born on earth. Its note tunnels through brick, marrow, memory. Window glass trembles, then flares white-hot, as if sunrise has made a wrong, desperate turn. Across 4 floors, every pane erupts with light. No oil, no spark, just incandescent fury, washing pews, dorms, and crates with judgment. Corridors flood gold. Shadows flee, folding into hairline cracks. For one impossible moment, the orphanage looks holy, redeemed. Then a scream knifes the brill. Iance. Sharp. High. Final. A single voice. Sexless. Ageless. Sliced off mid-vowel, as though plucked from throat and pocketed by the dark. Light dies. Not dims, dies. Pitch-black claps shut like coffin lid, smothering candle stubs, moonbeams, even memory of color. Silence follows, thicker than stone. Emilia's eyes ache against void until another sense awakens. Smell of strawberries smashed against iron and salt tears boiled dry. Boards groan under distant weight. One step. Pause. One step. Keys jingle, familiar yet wrong, each ring a dirge stanza. Whatever walks now has finished practice. A heartbeat later, lamps reignite themselves, weak first, then snarling bright. Rooms reappear, chairs scattered, hymnals weeping wax. Emilia bolts to doorway, gaze racing left and right. Hall empty. She sprints dorm to dorm, sheets cold, pillows caved, chalk tallies rubbed off doors. No laughter, no sobbing, just the echo of her breath chasing itself through corridors, narrowing with guilt. Chapel last. Bell rope still absent, but iron tongue of tower drips violet ichor onto marble, forming crescent pierced by line. Brother Laurent's organ bench lies overturned, keys jammed down as if pressed by unseen choir. Ledger sits on altar, spine cracked wide, all 78 names now shine crimson, every line tagged completed. One droplet above list quenches itself, spelling mercy, then smears. Emilia turns toward courtyard window. Gate yawns, chains strewn like shedskins. Outside, garden beds gape, every strawberry gone, leaves limp, soil flattened by 78 small bare footprints marching toward forest edge and stopping. Beyond that, only unbroken snow sparkling under a moon suddenly full. She feels the ledger close behind her, pages sighing content. Bell Tower whines for another stroke, one more toll to seal night's bargain. Emilia lifts a fallen candle, hurls it at bronze throat. Clang splits air, wax explodes into sparks of hope or defiance, she can't tell. Bell chokes, resonance rattling windows but refusing to sing. Somewhere deep machina, he seizes. The orphanage exhales a gasp of steam and sorrow. Lights flicker, steadier now, less triumphant, more uncertain. Ledger cover creaks, reopening to a fresh blank page. Emilia steps forward, quill of broken candlewick in hand, ready to write something living over ink that feeds on loss. Was the final toll the orphanage's victory or your invitation to fight back? Tell me in the comments and subscribe so you're here when the next bell dares to breathe. From that dark, white numbers bloom, bleached bones of a tally no prayer could mend. Missing. 78. Found. 0. The digits hover, pulsing like the orphanage bell that refused hands. Their glow flickers, and with each flicker you almost see the children standing behind the light, Silas clutching his blanket, Anya humming the unfinished hymn, Timothy pressing a note that never saved him. They are close enough to fog the glass between worlds, yet the ledger still stamps, completed beside every breath they once owned. A hush settles, deeper than any midnight mercy gate ever hoarded. Then a whisper slices the quiet, thin, hungry, asking nothing yet demanding everything. Speak their names, if you dare. The voice skitters across the dark like a fingernail on coffin lid, echoing off numbers that refuse to fade. It is not Sister Marian's satin hiss, nor is it the bell's iron moan. It is the collective rasp of 78 throats stitched shut by silence, yearning for one witness brave enough to unpick the thread. You feel the ledger waiting, quill poised above fresh parchment. Ink smells of strawberries overripe, of frost-bitten violets, of salt tears burned dry. It craves a single syllable, a first crack in the dam, because once a name escapes, the rest will follow like floodwater through rotten stone. But names are doors, and doors swing both ways. Speak them aloud, and the orphanage may breathe again, through your lungs, your dreams, your children's lullabies. Leave them buried, and Mercy Gate's foundation grows stronger, bricks mortared with unanswered prayers. The numbers dim, but before they vanish, another line surfaces beneath. Choices are chains. Letters drip red, pooling into the shape of the crescent pierced by the line, the sigil that marked every lock, every crate, every ledger page. It throbs once, sealing the invitation with a heartbeat not your own. Silence. C returns, but now it listens. Will you speak a name or leave the silence to rot? Subscribe before the bell tolls again.